Hey everyone, welcome to Pai's Kitchen. Today, for the first time in the history of Pai's Kitchen, I am sharing with you one of my mother-in-law's recipes. So this dish is sort of her signature dish. She makes it all the time and it's my husband's favorite way to have fish. It's a pretty classic dish too. It's steamed fish with black bean sauce, and it's just one of those things that's really quick, simple, and healthy. So it's a perfect family-friendly weeknight meal. Let's get started. So the fish that my mother-in-law uses for this is always black cod, also known as sable fish, or in Thai, this would be plahima because it's super oily and tender and just works beautifully. But you can also use any other tender, mild flavored white fish like lingcod works really well too. So just a couple of steaks, about 1 inch thick, okay? So we'll let that sit for now. And then I'm going to make the fish sauce, but without fish sauce, as you're about to see. So in the plate that you're going to use to steam the fish, okay, so it's got to be heat proof and it's got to have some depth to it because when you steam, there's going to be all sorts of liquid collected, so nothing that's completely flat. So I've got some soy sauce going in here and some Chinese cooking wine. This is my own little addition, adds a little more complexity. Some sugar to balance out the salt and some white pepper. And then I'm just going to give this a stir to get most of the sugar dissolved. It doesn't have to be completely dissolved. And you know, this dish is a pretty classic dish and everyone's got a slightly different way of doing it. So if you make a fish with black beans and you've got a different method, share with us in the comments below. We'd love to know how you make it. Okay, so now the fish is going to go in there. Just going to put that in there and then give it a flip. Yeah. That in there, give it a flip. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move them so they are diagonal to the plate because that's just prettier looking. So I'm going to let this marinate in the fridge 15 minutes on one side. I'm going to give it a flip, let it marinate another 15 minutes on the other side. Meanwhile, let's make all the other stuff that's going to go on top. So let's talk black beans here. So this is Chinese black beans, which is actually soybeans that have been fermented and they turn black in the process. They're quite salty. It's really widely available at any Asian grocery stores. I have given this a rinse, so I just put it in a little strainer and run some water through it to wash off sort of the excess salt. It reduces the saltiness a little bit, okay? So now that you've got that, I am going to chop it in to create sort of a mixture with some garlic and ginger. So I've chopped some garlic and ginger here, put these in, and chop away. And I should have picked a bigger cutting board, yes. But this one's so cute. Okay. So that's really all you're going for. You're just getting the beans to break up into small chunks and get it all mixed up a little bit. Nice and easy. All right. So then the fish is done marinating. And by the way, you can put more black beans or less black beans. If it's your first time, maybe use a little less because it does have a bit of a funky smell that you might not be used to. Some people like more intense, you can put more. But just be careful, it's salty. So the more you put, the saltier it's going to be. So if you like more black beans, maybe cut down on the soy sauce a little. And so now I'm just going to put this paste on the fish. Not really a paste, this crumble. It's like a crumb topping on the fish and just press it on. Give it a final douse. You don't have to do this. Just makes me feel better to do it. Okay. Ooh. And one more thing. This is again my own little trick. So I modified my mother-in-law's recipe a little bit. Just gonna add some extra ginger in the sauce, just because I like that extra ginger flavor. Because then this way, as the fish steams, the ginger will steam right into the sauce. All right, let's get the steamer ready. So I've got the steamer heating up right here. Now with the fish, as you can see, there isn't much sauce right now, but trust me, once the fish steams, the fish will release quite a bit of liquid, but I don't want too much liquid. So I'm gonna cover this with parchment paper to prevent the condensation from the lid to get on top of the fish. Now, I have a little trick for you. So see, when you get parchment paper out, it likes to curl like that. So to prevent it from curling, what you do is you just crumple it into a ball, and then when you stretch it out, it will kind of mold to whatever shape you want it to go into. And just like that. And then this way, you're not gonna get too much water dripping. You don't wanna like completely seal it because you wanna allow the steam to come in, but you know, a little umbrella is what you're going for. Ooh, yes. Careful, don't burn yourself. Okay, so this will take, for the size of my fish, about 15 minutes. If you got something thinner, check it at 12. And if you have a meat thermometer, you're going for a minimum internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Alrighty, ooh. Ta-da! Oh, my paper. Look how beautiful that is. See, there's so much more liquid now, and that's with the paper, so you can imagine like how much water there would be if we didn't put the paper on. Now, because we've diluted our sauce a little bit, I'm going to taste the sauce just to see where it's at in terms of saltiness. Perfect. Ooh, that's gingery. Now, at this point, if you find that there's too much water that's gotten into a little bland, you can add just a touch more soy sauce, a touch more sugar, just to perfect the sauce flavor a little bit. Now, to add some color to this, I'm gonna sprinkle on some green onions, which instantly makes everything look better. And if you happen to have something red in the kitchen, throw it on too, why not? This is not the most colorful of dishes, right? So whatever you can do to help. Now I'm gonna close the lid, let that green onion just steam in the residual steam for 30 seconds or so, just to, you know, activate all those oniony flavor. And then you're done. Get your rice ready. Look at that fish. Oh my God. Now, just careful, especially if you are using black cod, there are pin bones that sort of is spread out in between the fillet. If you grew up eating bone-in fish, you kind of know the drill, but you know. The smell of all of the black beans and the ginger and garlic, so good. It's like the flavor of comforting home cooking. Like, it's not a strongly flavored dish one way or another, but it's just well balanced with the saltiness and sweetness and that little funk from the black beans. The fish, oh, I love black cod. It's so moist and juicy and tender. And this is also a really forgiving fish. Like if you overcook it a little bit, it's not gonna go dry and tough on you. Another reason why I love black cod. So I hope you give this recipe a try. Oh, and by the way, for our Patreon members, in the show after the show, I'm gonna talk to you about how Thai people might go about making this dish. We have a bit of a different technique when it comes to steaming fish, so we'll talk about that. And the recipe, as always, will be on paiskitchen.com. And when you make it, definitely send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or tag me on Instagram. And if you have not subscribed to the show, make sure you do so you don't miss an episode. And click the bell icon as well. That is how you will get a notification when I post a new video. And thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time for your next delicious adventure.